everyone, and welcome to the BlackOut series, proudly brought to you by Black creatives out there. My name is Diane Wesh, and I'm so honored to be your host for this series, which will be held every Sunday for the next 8 weeks. I hail from Virginia Beach, Virginia, the 757, and I'm the proud product of tough Haitian immigrants. I'm also an inclusive marketing consultant and the founder of Got Blacklisted. As y'all know, we're not here to sugarcoat the hard stuff, but rather to share our stories, our collective truths. We'll dive deep into art, COVID-19, the Black Lives Matter movement, and more. Please keep in mind that Black creatives out there, is not a mental health provider, but rather a community of Black creatives aiming to elevate the Black consciousness. Interviews normally last up to 30 minutes, but on certain occasions, they may run up to 45. So if you have any questions, please feel free to drop them in the comment section below prior to 12:30. And now, allow me to welcome our guest this afternoon, singer and songwriter, Domingo Candelario. Before making New Zealand his home, Domingo, who hails from Cuba, was living in London, where he was well known in the Latino community for his unique style of Nueva Trova, a musical movement which has roots in traditional folk music. Welcome, Domingo. Would you like to introduce yourself to our viewers?
Hi, everybody. My name is Domingo Candelario. I'm a singer-songwriter from Cuba, and I'm very happy to share my story with you.
Thank you, Domingo. And Domingo, for our viewers who may not know much about Cuba, can you describe it for us and what it was like growing up for you?
Growing up in Cuba was, for me, a very unique and interesting circumstance and experience, because Cuba is a country that is very far away from the rest of the world in terms of its political environment. But when you're thinking about art and culture, it's a country that is very open to the world. So many people come to my country to know about our music, to find out about our culture, and that provide kind of platform for cultural interchange. No? That kind of contrast between being a country who his ideologies and political environment is so different. We and at the same time very open to the world, no, with the culture is amazing. We always try to bring our art and our music, our art in general, wherever we go, and that's probably our way to escape from this claustrophobic, I would say, political environment. Yeah.
Thank you for that. And can you tell us who introduced you to take music seriously?
Oh, I would say I have a friend. Her name is Yusa. She's an amazing musician. She's one of the best musicians in Cuba, and we used to hang out together. She was the one who, as a gift, gave me my first guitar, and I started writing songs, and she started singing with me, and after we started singing together, and without even knowing, we were developed like an audience around our music. And while in the beginning it started as a fun, as a hobby, eventually became something more serious, because the audience that was growing up around us was asking for more. They were asking us for write more songs in order to do more performance and stuff like that. So yeah, I would say thanks to her, I became a singer-songwriter.
And what about your parents? Did your parents have much of an influence on you with your
Oh yeah.
music career?
Yes. I come for a very musical family. No, I have two uncles who they were singers songwriters, and I grew up listening. No? We used to have like a family tradition in which every month we used to celebrate the birthday of some member of the family. The way we used to celebrate it was by bringing a performance to the house of that person. So basically, I grew up watching my uncles doing poetry, singing songs, and stuff like that. I think that was the beginning of something. That was when I started thinking, oh man, that's something I can do when I grow up. But, uh, but I was so young at that point, no? So many years afterwards when I started basically taking more serious the fact to be an artist.
And Domingo, you were born and raised in Cuba. You lived in London and now reside in New Zealand. Can you explain how traveling and meeting people from various parts of the world has benefited your music career?
Oh yes. I think when you go to every time you go to new places and you have to to find new friends and new connection, you always find something new you always discover something new about yourself. That process, no, that transition of me going to Cuba, from Cuba to London, from here, from London to here, has been very good for my creativity. And I would say that I know more myself since I left Cuba. That contrast between the nostalgia of missing my people, missing my friends, missing my family, with the motivation to adapt myself to music, to time, it's a good ingredient in the way I approach music and songs in general.
And what would you say has been one of your most profound experiences as far as traveling and playing with different artists? What has been your most special moment?
My, my, my my most special moment was the first time I arrived to London. I went to a place where there was like an open mic, and I was a little bit nervous because I was thinking, oh my God, I sing in Spanish. And my music is just Latin music. These people they don't going to understand anything I say, and they don't going to probably find my melodies very familiar to them. And I just played two songs, and the response of the audience was amazing. Everybody stopped clapping and sing and screaming, "Whoa!" And that was just the very first day I arrived to London. It was for me like a wow, like an open window to a new environment, no? Because even though they didn't understood the lyrics of my music or my song, they understood the feeling I was expressing in that moment. And I would say that was basically one of my best moments. There are so many awesome moments I have. That was
Yeah.
It was just in the beginning of me.
Yes. It seemed like it was a very welcoming experience for you. Can you also share how you felt when you opened for Amy Winehouse?
Oh, that was another amazing moment.
I was
Yeah,
like,
because I used to, I was fan of her long before she became famous. I used to follow her, and I used to talk to my friend about her. And my friend, so many of my friends, they didn't know her, and some of my friends they didn't like her music. They oh my God, she's not that good. And I said, she's amazing. And after she started became more famous, more known, in the music community of London. There was a point when she was in every TV show in London, and in some point I was talking to my friend, no, the director of Tawani Band, a funky band with I used to work in the band. And he said to me, Domingo, there's artist who want you to open for her. Do you know Amy Winehouse? I said, what? Of course. Amy Winehouse, yes, of course. I said, okay, she wanted you to open. We sent her you demo, and she really liked your music, and it was amazing. It was amazing just seeing her in the sound check, no, warm up that before the concert. It was amazing. It was amazing, and it was amazing also that she liked my music. She enjoyed my set. When I was playing my set, she was there looking at me, and we didn't have time to interact with each other very much, but it was a very amazing moment because the respect that I have for her, no, and the fact that she liked what I did was amazing too.
sounds like it was a beautiful experience for you. That's really good to hear. Domingo, your music has a beat of its own. And I've actually had the pleasure of going to Cuba with my parents a few years ago. And your music style is completely different from what I've heard in Cuba. Can you describe to our viewers the style of your music and how it differs from traditional Cuban music?
Yes. As I said before, I have a strong influence of Brazilian music in my music, no? But I have been listening a lot of music from different. I have so many references from different cultures, from American R&B music, from Fado from Portugal. So I think one of the things that made my music a little bit more, I would say, unique is that I come from a theater background, and I try always to express what I feel in the moment. I don't tell stories with my songs, and that is a different way to approach music. No, I think that what made my music a little bit different. No, the way I try to understand how I feel and how I translate that in melodies. But if you ask me about music reference, it's like a rainbow of so many things. It's just from American music to Brazilian music to everything I can use, no, to to create something unique.
And would you say that music has really opened you up to meeting a lot of people and making a lot of new friends, especially infusing music with traveling all over the world?
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Basically, all my social network, my friends, even my wife, every person around me, have come to me through my music. So my music has created a platform for me to interact with people in so many ways. And without the music, without music, I think I would be a more lonely person in this world. So yeah, music is basically the open window for people to get to me and say, "Hey, how you doing, man? I like what you do." And from there, I start a very kind of relation with people. That's the reason why I always say thanks when I have the opportunity. Mm.
And we noticed you really enjoy the app Acapella. Is that something you've discovered during the COVID-19 lockdown?
Yes, exactly. Yeah. I was boring. I was looking for something new, and I was thinking, yeah, let me see. Yeah, I'm not yet in the level I want to be, but yeah, I'm doing my experiment. I've been doing some experiment to see how it goes.
For our viewers who don't really understand the app, can you kind of explain it and how you use it to your advantage?
Yes, it's a app that basically give you the option of do songs a cappella. So you use your voice and you can create harmony with your voice, and you have a certain amount of minute that they gave you to do that. When you do that, you send your song to other artists and you ask if they want to collaborate with you, or you just interact with other artists who do the same thing. And in my opinion, it's a very interesting community out there, because the majority of them are extremely good singers, and so many times you find amazing performers that you don't find usually in other platforms like YouTube or Instagram. Yeah, it's amazing. It's really amazing.
And Domingo, I know that playing guitar and composing music aren't your only talents. Can you share with us how you used your graphic design skills in London to promote Latino artists?
Oh, yes, in London, because when I was in London, when I was living in London, there was a moment when I took a break from music, and I went to university to study cinema. To study, I have an honor degree in contemporary media practice in film and television. And second year of my degree, as as a student experience, I would say I have to show up to show up to my teacher that I was doing some kind of work or some kind of collaboration with any company. And there was a company who basically what they do, they bring to London high profile Latin America artists. And there was the open opportunity, for me to design posters, marketing plan, promotion plan, and basically in that process of learning how to work in that environment, I developed a kind of my own style of visual art and graphic designing, and now I have a portfolio that everybody can see, and yeah, that
And is
was,
that okay?
yeah. Sorry.
I'm sorry about that. No, you could go ahead and continue.
No. I'm finished. Yes.
Okay. And is that something that you continue to do today? Like, do you continue doing that here in New Zealand?
No in New Zealand, because
Mhm.
every connection I have in that area of my work, they were in London. So in New Zealand, I have not found yet. I just did one project for my father-in-law. He owns a small company who basically what they do is Manuka honey. He's in the Manuka honey business. So he asked me as a favor to design like kind of graphic art for the presentation of the product, and that has been the only work I have done here. But yes, I don't have any connections in this country in that part of my work environment. Mm-hmm.
Can you kind of describe or explain how different the music industry for you or your music career has been from living in London versus coming here to New Zealand? Like, how different was the lifestyle for you?
It's very different. Basically, one of the main issue is that the population in this country is very small. When you play in venues in theater, you don't see that kind of amount of people interested, in new music and what happened with the music, with the music community. But on the other hand, London is a big city, no? So many famous and well-known musicians go there to do concerts. So the the music environment in London is extremely more busy than here. So here, music is not basically something that you will consider um, I would say busy. No, that's not true. It's not a busy environment. You don't see so many things happen in terms of music. That's in my opinion of the main difference. The major difference. That when you think about, oh well, what kind of music can I listen today? What kind of concert can I go to? The option that you have in New Zealand are totally less than the option that you have in city like London. And I think it's something that has to do with the population. It has to do with the amount of population and how distant people are with each other. Yeah, so many circumstances are different here. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And now, Domingo, we've had quite a few lockdowns here in New Zealand. In regards to the first COVID-19 lockdown that we had, what were your thoughts? Can you share your thoughts with us? Do you feel like you were more inspired during that moment when we were in lockdown, or did you feel like it was kind of a time for you to take a step back and rest?
The lockdown have his bad side and his good side. The bad side was, I would say, is the don't have the ability to interact with each other. Don't have the option to do live music and concert and stuff like that. But on the other hand, it was like a break for have a little bit of more conversation with yourself and thinking about what is the next step after this. In my particular case, I have been busy. I have been finding so many ways to get busy by doing exercise, by writing new songs, and be more close to my family. And yeah, it have his good side and his bad side. I would say the good side, the good side is having very productive because when all these situations go away, uh, I think in my particular case I would be more ready to move forward. So yeah, I would say that.
And I have to ask, did you learn any new Cuban dishes or did you learn of any new Cuban recipes during lockdown?
Not really.
No.
Really, I try my best, but no.
No. But I
No.
know exercise has definitely been something that you mentioned you did quite a bit. Was there any other hidden talents that you discovered about yourself during lockdown?
Oh yes, I would say I discovered that I'm very good. Now that you mentioned before about something about cooking, I discovered that I'm very good in making salads.
Ooh, okay.
Usually don't eat too much salad, but part of my new me is just doing exercise and trying so hard to eat healthy. And I developed this time to do amazing salads. My wife always find no very funny how excited I am when I'm doing my salad.
The
Because
salad.
you think, oh my god, this salad is gonna be awesome. I'm gonna write a song about the salad. Kind of a traditional thing. Yeah.
Yes, that's so great. And Domingo, I want to go ahead and just transition this conversation a little bit and kind of uh, discuss or have a little dialogue about the Black Lives Matter movement here in New Zealand. Did you get the chance to attend the protest?
I didn't have the chance to attend to the
Yeah.
book, but
Uh,
I follow what's going on. Really.
and what were your thoughts on the movement? Like, what does the Black Lives Matter movement represent to you?
I think Black Lives Matter is a movement that represents justice. I always say that in every conversation. And the fact that every time people say Black Lives Matter, some people get offended and they found that they feel uncomfortable when one of us say Black Lives Matter. It give you the idea, no, how deep and ugly is the tension, no, and the rising that exists, and the tension that exists between those who have social privilege and those who are constantly victim of police brutality and stuff like that. My, I think I always say that in every conversation I have about Black Lives Matter. It's about justice. It's about justice. It should be a issue that everybody should approach as a human problem, not as a black and brown and minority problem. I think if 2020, I think, have been a very intense and interesting year in that manner, no? Because the way in which we interact with each other, thanks to the way how media work nowadays, no, and how technology has affected, no, how we interact with information and how we interact with each other, that have been kind of a tool for people, no, to provide evidence about what happened in the streets. Um, I think we are in a moment in which we are more strong, no? to to motivate people to have more empathy with 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 our with these issues, because is the, when we talk about racism and discrimination, it's not a new conflict, it's not a new issue, it's something that has been around for ages. Um, and Black Lives Matter, I would say, is a very necessary movement that represents justice. And that is how it should be understood by everybody. And every time a person say, all life matter, in my opinion, it's a way to say, I don't care about your pain, and I don't give a damn. So, I mean, I know that all life matters. Everybody know. But Black life also matter too. So,
yes.
I mean, it's just like that. And that's my opinion, yeah.
Yes. Thank you for sharing your thoughts on that. And Domingo, with this lockdown coming to an end soon, do you have any new music coming up, or do you have any music you'd like to share with our viewers today?
I can share some song with you. I can play a song for you. But yeah, I have new songs that I prefer don't show up at the moment because
Of
I'm
course.
going to the studio as soon as I have the opportunity to record in order to record the new songs. And yes, the answer is yes. I've been working in new songs. I can't wait to go to the studio. I already booked the studio with my record company, Triple A Record, and I can't wait to go there and start moving forward to finish the album. Yeah. But yeah, I can share some.
Oh, we would love that if you don't mind.
You want me now?
Oh yes, now. Can you just tell us what song you're gonna play for us?
Okay. The song I'm gonna play now is one of my old songs. It's a love song. I wrote the song when I was very young, and it was dedicated to one of my girlfriend when one of my girlfriend in my years living in Cuba. So the name of the song is When You Approach Me. That's the translation. In Spanish, we say Cuando te acercas. Cuando te acercas. Cuando te acercas despacio, pones la miel en mi fe. Se abre una luna en tu pecho y una ventana en tu piel. Quemaduras de amor y de sangre, un pedazo de olor en la mente, y es como una mirada de luz y una piel. Si se convierte en mis manos, tu voz empieza a llover. Tus labios son el pretexto para poder socorrer un instante de tibio recuerdo que el orgullo y la lágrima vierten, y es como la nostalgia no puede volver. Y tu cinturita es como la lluvia en los horizontes de café. Es para el encuentro de toda la dicha. El espejo azul de mí, tal vez. El espejo azul de mí, tal vez. Something like that.
Oh, so lovely. Thank you for sharing that. I actually, Domingo, before you put that guitar away, I do have a special request for myself. One of my favorite songs of yours is Negrita. Do you mind playing a little bit of that for our viewers today?
Negrita, ya tú no bailas conmigo. Negrita, ya tú no tomas café. Negrita, ya no arrebatas el filo y el humo de ayer, y el humo de ayer. La palma está de berro contigo. Negrita, no conoce el mamainé. Negrita, que te pasó en el ombligo. Y hablando en francés, y hablando en francés. Ah, girl, no, no. Y yo con mi espejo busco tu cara. Tus ojos se van pegando a mi piel. Y choco con una mirada rara que ya no me ve, que ya no me ve. Negrita, ya tú no vuelves conmigo. Negrita, ya tú no tomas café. Negrita, ya no arrebatas el filo. Y el humo de ayer, y el humo de ayer. Ah, girl, no, no. Something like that.
It's so amazing. Thank you, Domingo, for sharing that with us. If you don't mind, we have a few questions from our viewers today. So let me just look at my phone so I can ask you this. So one question is, what would your dream project be?
Oh, I think I would like to see my music in movies. That would be my dream project. Write music for cinema. That would be something that exciting for me and something that I would really enjoy very much to do.
Right now, who is your greatest inspiration?
Right now, I think, you're talking about artists?
Yep, as your artist, a musical artist. Who's your greatest
My
inspiration?
music artist would be Stevie Wonder. That's my favorite music writer. My main motivation would be my son. No, just everything I do, everything I try to do better to myself. It's just thinking about the examples I will send to him. I will say that.
And once lockdown is over, do you have any events coming up or any way that other people can support you?
Yes, I think some of the gigs that didn't happen because the lockdown, they will come back, no, eventually. And what I will do, I will post everything in Facebook, and I will let people know where they can come and see me. So there are so many gigs that were canceled because the lockdown, and the lockdown changed circumstance in so many ways. So I what I will do is just continue to record, no, that kind of connection, that kind of gigs offered as I have in the beginning, and just go forward and make sure that everybody know where they can come and listen to music. Yeah. And the other thing is the album. Just finish the album and put it out there for people to get it.
Thank you. And Domingo, before we close out today, I always like to leave our viewers with a message of hope or something inspirational. As a Black male artist, do you have maybe one sentence or a message that you can give to our viewers who have been watching this interview today?
Yeah, I would say to every black artist out there that we are the one with the responsibility to portray our community, our race, in the best way possible. That should be our mission. No, that should be our way to approach our art. And I will say, I want to say that because our race, I'm talking about Black people, no, have the way our race is portrayed in media have been controlled, no, by other people. Is the perception that people have about what means to be black has been a little bit disturbing. And the message I want to say is that every black artist should have, you know, the kind of commitment, you know, how we represent our race, how we portray our race in every art platform. And I'm not talking only about music, I'm talking about even cartoon for children, comics, movies, because the way we represent our race is the way people will perceive who we are, and we deserve respect and dignity. That makes sense?
Yes, yes, it does make a lot of sense. Thank you so much for sharing that with us, Domingo. Well, folks, it's time to wrap up. And can I say, Domingo, it has been such a pleasure having you today.
Thank you very much for the opportunity. Thank you.
You're welcome. And to our viewers, thank you so much for taking the time to tune in this afternoon. Be sure to catch us live next Sunday with Jax Hamilton, who is known to many as a contestant in MasterChef New Zealand. Jax is of British and Jamaican heritage and has written 2 best-selling cookbooks. Until next Sunday, 12 p.m. New Zealand time, my name is Diane Wesh, and you have been watching the BlackOut series. Kakite.